about to begin. Before we begin, Pseudo, thank you so much for the Twitch Prime sub. Super appreciated.
All right, here we go. Different starting locations for these players. Looks like we got a piece of heart and 5 rupees here in Sanctuary and Link's house.
Yeah, it's always interesting when they start off right at the bat going different locations. So Christos going for the tree pull, maybe hoping to get some bombs here.
Not a bad plan.
Ooh, just the 1 rupee.
Yeah, and we'll probably see Jet go for that tree pull as well. We'll see him check the hoarders as usual, check Lumberjack while he's up here. But Uncle and the secret passage item could be important here.
Ooh, well, speaking of bombs, there we go. Jet picking up a bomb from an enemy drop, and Christos picking up 3 from the chest. Oh, it's a hoarder. Is the bomb drop there?
Looks like we have a map for Turtle Rock from the Uncle, so we'll have some information early here.
Ooh, a small key in the Lumberjack cave.
Oh, that's spicy. If that's like a swamp small key, there's only one of those.
Yeah.
That can be devastating. That's one of the things I love about Keysanity is, like, you just don't know what this key is from. You have to go actually pick it up.
Yep. And then the worst part is if it's something for like Misery Mire or Misery Mire Skullwoods, even Pod, these runners both knowing the Hammer Yump, not gonna go out of their way to pick up one of the pod keys unless, you know, it's something that they only have 3 keys for and they can't find the remaining.
Definitely. Jet cashing in on that single rupee tree pull there.
Christos finding the compass for Swamp Palace. Compasses do something different in Keysanity, where of course they show the dungeon item count or chest count remaining. And again, both these runners being top tier runners don't really need that information, so they're not going to go out of their way to pick up compasses.
Right, but it doesn't hurt. I mean, helps keep track of things for you if
absolutely
you end up like double dipping some of these dungeons. It looks like we have a fire rod in Blind's house.
Yeah, and the small key for the basement in Tower of Hera, and the power glove. Interesting.
Wow. Blind is just packing here, and back here, the back of Blind, just a piece of heart.
So that's Tower of Hera only has, of course, 1 small key. That's for the basement. There's the tile room you have to go through before then. They got the fire source for it too, so yeah, interesting. It's almost a Tower of Hera starter pack down there. They just need a mirror and a lamp or something to get there.
Exactly. And I don't think a lamp is going to hold these guys back from doing anything. We'll probably see dark room sequence breaks all over the place, potentially. Yep.
So speaking of useless keys, we found one for Misery Mire here in the well.
Yeah, not the best keys, but it's not the worst at the same time. Because it can help your routing in some of those dungeons if you do pick up these keys. Like, that's not what they want to see right now, but, you know, once they get to those dungeons, it'll at least be a little more convenient.
So just a heart piece from the bottle vendor. Lots of heart pieces at the beginning of the seed.
Yeah, seriously. Kakariko full of love for these guys. And not a lot of money either.
No.
Which is kind of interesting because, you know, Zora is already in play with that lift upgrade.
So we're going to get to see the library here. It's always nice to see an item that they need fairly early on the ledge. Unfortunately, it's just a heart piece, but you know, because that way you know that you need boots or you're gonna get them soon.
Exactly. And if we do find boots and book, you know, desert's gonna look like a really nice play.
Shovel in the maze game.
That's definitely worth picking up, because they're right by the dig spot. You know, they can just do that immediately and knock that out, and it may, you know, force progression.
All right, so both of these runners picking up the shovel. Some runners will sometimes actually just go straight to the maze game to pick up the item in Keysanity, just because the high percentage that it's something that they might need. So sometimes you won't see them run down the bottom in order to see what it is before going in.
Yeah, it's certainly a valid strategy, but these guys, I think, are trying to save as much time as possible. So they both actually checked it first. Interestingly. Christos trying to dig up some dreams here. I guess trying to find bombs, which he did.
Wow! What a dig!
Worth it, for sure.
And the dig, her dug up item, I guess, is just a heart piece. So more heart pieces for these runners.
Yeah, I think Jet's gonna give us a look at the back of Escape now, because with that glove, it puts that in the mix. There's 3 chests we can get here right away. It's really quick, and I think Christos is gonna follow suit.
Compass for Eastern Palace. Compass for Thieves Town. Compass for Skullwood. Wow.
Quality.
Super treasure trove back here.
Alright, Jet is now starting from Link's house. It looks like he's gonna hit up the South Shore, go to the damn mini Moldorm. He definitely knows where he's going. He has all those compasses.
Yeah, absolutely. It's pointing him in the direction of the dam.
Looks like Christos is splitting off and going to the Eastern Palace area. Probably going to check Sahasrahla first. So this is an interesting deviation.
Yeah, and Jet picking up another key for Misery Mire.
I mean, these are the areas of the map that they have access to that have the highest concentrations of items that they can pick up quickly. So it makes a lot of sense. Looks like we're going to learn about the green pendant here.
Ooh, Tower of Hera. Interesting.
And Jet finds a map outside the dam for Hyrule Castle.
Dark Palace, small key. Castle Tower, small key. And another compass for Christos.
It's the light world of compasses. Jet with some good information, good game knowledge, I should say, about the Hoarder there by South Shore, kind of reloading on bombs, since he's going to be using those to kill all these mini Moldorms.
And he's doing a nice job of it, getting the double kill.
Beautifully done. Got a 5-arrow upgrade, 20 rupees, another arrow upgrade, 20 rupees, and the lamp! Wow.
Alright, we got a big key for Thieves Town. That's actually really good. Unlocking 4 more chests in Thieves Town. Once they get Dark World access.
Once they get some sort of weapon that can kill blind, they can immediately kill blind, which is actually really nice.
Yep.
So definitely a nice dungeon to go into early on.
The one thing that they'll need to worry about is not having that hammer going into Thieves Town. If that's their Dark World access, then that'll be great for them, but unfortunately, if they don't find the hammer going into Thieves Town, they might wait once they get Dark World access.
True. We'll also have to be on the lookout for that Thieves Town small key.
Yep.
Alright, I think Jet is going to be joining Christos over in Eastern Palace.
Ooh, finding the Book of Medora.
All these items are pointing desert, but the thing is we still don't have the keys needed to complete the dungeon.
Could find the Moon Pearl there, though.
Absolutely. Yeah. We can find all sorts of fun stuff there. And I think these runners will probably elect to go for it. I guess another play that can be made is go into Hyrule Castle. They do have the Fire Rod, so they can make quick work of the enemies as long as they have some magic to their name.
Christos using bombs to figure out where he's positioned. It's an interesting strategy, but that's basically all he's really got at the moment. He's got Fire Rod, but he'll probably want to save that magic for something else.
Yeah, absolutely. When you don't have weapons other than bombs, you know, you want to take every advantage you can with the items you have. So that Fire Rod's a lot of damage, but the low magic, it's going to be tricky to manage. Looks like Christos is going to head to South Shore now, so these guys are kind of switching places.
Yep, Christos found a heart container inside the last chest, or the vanilla big key chest in Eastern Palace, so we'll start to see them kind of clean up each other's paths, and then we'll start to see some differences here, because again, you know, they can go up Death Mountain, they can't get to Tower of Hera yet, based on the items that they have. There's basically 2 things that they could get there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Old Man and inside Spectacle Rock. They could see what's on Spectacle Rock, but if they find, let's say, the mirror or something up on Death Mountain, could be something of interest.
Oh man, imagine a vanilla mirror up on Death Mountain.
Ooh, that's definitely trolly. The other thing, of course, is going into desert without the big key or the small key. The only thing they can really access would be the vanilla map chest in desert,
Right.
unless they sequence break and grab the small key from the back half of Desert Palace.
Right, which is an interesting play, and we've seen that many times in this tournament already, and can pay off. They can also check out what's on the ledge and in Nagina's cave, so there are a good number of options over in the desert area. And then, of course, there's the front of Hyrule Castle that has been unchecked at this point, so still a good number of places to go.
Yeah, we haven't seen either player go to the Houlihan room either, which is a valid strategy at this moment. They only have 110 rupees, so they might be waiting for a little bit more rupees before they do it. But because, like you were saying earlier, Zora being in play, they're going to be able to at least check that once they have the rupee count for it.
Right, we're really just trying to look for some way into the Dark World. Whew! Christos just surviving there right in front of Ice Rod. He's going to get his 50 rupees here. And we'll see if he decides to go for a fake flippers. Looks like going to elect not to. Yeah, the only thing we can really do here is get to Hobo.
So I think at this point they're going to go to Hyrule Castle.
Makes a lot of sense. We see Christos, again with that game knowledge, picking up some bombs. So these guys are tied up on bombs. Jet hasn't been to Uncle yet, so he's doing that real quick. And Christos is just gonna walk in the front door here, I think. Or...
check the
he's
tree
going
pole,
for the tree pole.
which is still 1 rupee. I guess every rupee counts when you need to go see Zora.
Absolutely.
Especially if you get knocked around by that thief. Yeah, you get knocked around by the thief, losing 1 or 2 rupees and then being short when you go to Zora. Never a good feeling.
Oh, that's the worst feeling. You don't want to be in that situation. I mean, there is the farm rock cave near Desert. But it looks like we found the flute in Hyrule Castle in the first chest, so that gets us up to Death Mountain a little bit quicker, gets us to the desert area quicker. Nice transportation, but I don't know if that's really doing anything for us right now.
Not really. It doesn't unlock anything that we haven't already had access to.
Exactly.
Ooh, that 20 rupees. If Christos is quick enough, he'll be able to grab when he's leaving here.
Another compass, of course, here in Hyrule Castle.
I'm wondering how many compasses are left at this point. We've been finding an awful lot of them.
We're running out of compasses, guys. Can we duplicate some of them?
How are we going to know where to go then, though, when we run out? I'm concerned.
Alright, we'll see if Zelda's cell is worthwhile here.
Ooh, a sword.
Well, that's certainly nice.
Christos is going to be going into the chest in the sewers here, setting up a death warp.
It's certainly in the logic. They have the lamp. They have everything they need to get there. They don't need a small key or anything. And I think Jet is trying to set up for this death warp. He's having a little trouble with this guard here, because he really wants to use the pots to kill the ball and chain guard.
Yep, but this green guard is just not being very nice to him right now. He's got to be careful. Woo!
Woo! Oh, there's some jukes right there.
Oh man, that was close.
Little Benny Hill moment.
Ooh, Titan's Bits! There's our Dark World at least access minus, you know, of course we need the Moon Pearl to not be a bunny. We can at least get into the Dark World at this point.
Right, and if we do find Mirror, you know, that brings, like, Checkerboard Cave into play.
Yep.
And all of Hera and stuff like that. You know, that might be where the Moon Pearl is, potentially, so we have to be mindful of that. But I think Desert is looking like a really strong play. Death Mountain, you know, kind of their 2 places to go right now.
Yep, Agina's Cave is down by Desert, so there's that as well. We'll get to see what's on the ledge at Desert.
And if somehow we find, you know, like a vanilla small key or something in that map chest that you were talking about, you know, they can explore a lot more of Desert. So I think that's probably the more lucrative play here, but I can see it both ways. I think the old man check is pretty quick too.
Yep, and it looks like that's where Christos is headed.
All right.
So Jet's gonna activate his flute now. And we'll get to see where Jet decides to go from here. Christos serenading the old man through the cave here.
Gotta keep him on his toes, otherwise he won't follow you.
Ooh.
Baby shield there from the old man. Looks like Christos is gonna head up to Spectacle Rock Cave. You can see what's up on Spectacle Rock itself. Jet looks like he's following the same path.
Yeah, it's definitely a reasonable path, in my opinion.
Agreed. Absolutely.
You get the save point up here. Get to see what's on the ledge. Just a heart piece. Oh, is that the flippers?
I believe so. So that's putting, Waterfall Fairy and Hobo into the mix now. You can get to Zora a little quicker. Not too bad. Really nice items here early. Just still need to find that Moon Pearl, though.
So this puts, again, they're still looking for rupees for Zora, but now we have access to the Waterfall Cave, which, neither of them really fake flippered, because when you don't have the Moon Pearl, really you're getting access to Hobo and then whatever's at Zora. When you don't have any rupees, doesn't really help you very much.
Christos struggling a little bit there to find some bombs, so he decided to farm up those rocks there. There's half magic! Wow. That's a nice find, especially with that fire rod.
So, and the nice thing about half magic is it gives you a magic refill.
Looks like Jet is following the flippers. So he's going to be checking out Hobo, see what's on Lake Hylia Island. Oh, taunting them with some money there. That's brutal.
Still not able to get it. Ooh, Master Sword. Interesting. They do have also a castle tower key. So...
Uh-oh. Yeah, that's 2 more items in Aghanim's tower. And potentially, if they find another castle tower small key, they could actually complete Aghanim and get the item on the pyramid.
And so looking like we're getting the Swamp Palace small key here from the Hobo.
I think that's a really exciting small key, because that puts Swamp in the mix potentially really early. If we do find a hammer and a mirror, that could be a really interesting play, even if we don't have hookshot.
So Turtle Rock definitely confirmed Crystal. Christos doing a map check here. Quake Medallion required for Misery Mire. So we're getting to see the Super Bunny. Yep.
And Jet finding another sword upgrade in the Waterfall Cave, as well as the mushroom.
Oh, and that's actually a nice place to find the mushroom. I mean, they have the flute, but it's definitely one. If they didn't, it would be pretty close for them to drop it off.
Only a bomb upgrade on Zora Ledge. Gonna have to come back for that Zora item. We don't have the cash yet. Christos is getting a little bit closer, but that is not working out. I think Jet's gonna turn in that mushroom immediately. When you find these fetch quests really early, there's a good chance that they could potentially be hiding the progression.
Yep, and the other interesting thing is, without having the hammer or the cane of Samaria, not able to do like fake powder either. Oh, the second Hyrule Castle. Oh wait, that's Hyrule Castle, not
that's Hyrule Castle proper.
Thank gosh.
I think that's a little frustrating, because you're like, I have Master Sword or Tempered Sword here. I have Lamp. It's given me an Aga Tower small key. It's like, isn't this where I should be going? Apparently not.
The thing is, they do have access to both chests in Aga Tower. There is also a small key that is on the Lumberjack Cave, so that's also a reminder.
That's certainly true. We'll still need boots to collect that, and obviously we need that second Agate Tower key, but those two chests in Agate Tower, I agree, are a solid play at this point. We're running out of places to go. We have, like, that and Zora, pretty much.
I don't think that Christos checked Agina's cave either. He went to desert area, but went into desert and then saved and quit.
Oh, you're right. Okay.
So...
And he also did not collect the half magic, which I think Jet is going straight to do. It'll also be interesting if Jet, while he's out here, decides to steal the key and check the right side of desert.
So it looks like he's gonna opt not to do that, but to definitely check Agina's cave. So this could be interesting depending upon what's here.
Maybe that Hyrule Castle key will remind Christos to go check Agatem's tower.
Oh, no, I think he's going back to Agina's cave. I think he realized, oh shoot, I forgot to check it.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's just a heart piece, so he's gonna be a little bit disappointed.
Alright, we'll see if Jet makes this Agatem's tower play. It's kind of all he has left other than Zora, and it's a pain to farm up for Zora here. You can do it, but it's gonna take a while, and you'll feel like you're behind. If Zora is the progression, hopefully we'll see a few rupees here in Agatem's tower.
Yeah, that's the big thing. Is what to do after this is pretty much Zora. So it's crazy how both of them have been taking a little bit different paths, but still having to stay on the same path here, just based on the item locations.
Definitely.
So item number 1, 10 bomb upgrade. Ooh.
Not a bad thing to have, but not what you're looking for when you're kind of at the end here. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely not what. Man, if this is like the Hyrule Castle or the Castle Tower small key, but nope, it's that Moon Pearl.
Oh, wow.
Well, there's our Dark World access, ladies and gentlemen.
And these guys are getting Dark World access at about the same time, so it'll be interesting to see how they branch. I think Skull Woods is a very good play early on, but it looks like Jet is going to head over to Misery Mire and do exactly what Christos did, which was head into the Mire Shed. He's just not going to have to, you know, do a Super Bunny glitch to accomplish it.
So, if you're wondering why the runners are saving and quitting to the mountain, it's actually the fastest of the locations to go to and get a full heal from. Because other than that, you have to walk all the way out of the sanctuary.
Yeah, that's a pain.
And when you're going to be clearing dungeons, especially, you know, dungeons with spikes that are going to be trying to murder you while you're trying to kill the boss, full health, probably a good idea.
So Christos is straight into Skull Woods here. I mean, with the Fire Rod and Tempered Sword, you can make quick work of Mothula, and you can actually get to Mothula. There is a key that you can grab in kind of the middle piece of Skull Woods and take that towards the end on the Fire Rod locked side. So it is actually clearable.
And that was actually the Sanctuary Heart, so you can tell the difference between Sanctuary Heart and the boss hearts, because Sanctuary Heart will fully heal you, where the boss hearts will not.
We'll also see if this half magic comes into play at all. I don't think it will for Mothula, but, you know, a place like Ice Palace is kind of in play right now. I mean, we don't have the hammer to complete it, but you can actually get most of the chests there, which is kind of nice once we do get the hammer. So, you know, half magic is just a nice tool to have in these dungeons.
And it'll also change things like when you're in the gauntlet or stuff like that in Ganon's Tower, you know, being able to use your magic freely versus having to save it for the, you know, Land Mola or other things like that could make a play in the long run too.
I do feel that Christos might pick it up, you know, when he's about to do desert or something like maybe when he goes back. But, you know, that might be a while. We don't know when he's going back. In fact, we don't even know if desert is a pendant or a crystal, or if they're even going to go back there for a long time, so. Ooh, Jet having a little trouble with the statue. It's going to cost him a little bit of time.
Alright, so Christos. Oh, getting bunny beamed here. Doesn't want to get hit. Only has 2 hearts now.
Oof, gotta be really careful, especially in this moth fight. If you only got 2 hearts and green mail, you're gonna have to grab a few hearts here, if you can. Here we go, our first boss.
Having Tempered Sword, Mothula can be really nice right now, or a really big bug. Looks like Crystal's got a pretty nice pattern there for Mothula.
That was an amazing pattern and amazing execution of the pattern, too. He was able to use the Fire Rod to kind of knock Mothula out of the corner, because if you do knock Mothula into the spikes, then Mothula takes no damage. So he was able to kind of pull Mothula out of there, and thanks to a little bit of RNG, Mothula cooperated, and he was able to take him down in 4 tempered slashes.
Yep. And of course, because this is Keysanity, I'm going to be going to pick up the last chest in Skullwoods over here. That's not, of course, the big chest. So, ooh, small key. Oh, Misery Mire again. That's our 3rd Misery Mire key.
Wow. I believe that's all of them. And Jet with a really nice Mothula fight as well. Beautifully done.
So, looks like we're about to see the Dark World here. Again. Back to Village of Outcasts.
Yeah, I think it's a solid play. I mean, this is really our entrance to the Dark World. We don't really have much of a choice at this point. We can't really go north. We don't have the cape. We can see what's on the Bumper Cave ledge. We can't do King's Tomb or the Graveyard ledge. So where are we going? We're going to Village of Outcasts. We're checking Chess Game. We're checking Sea House. We're checking the brewery. The hut here in Village of Outcasts. And we're probably going to go into Thieves Town because we have the big key.
Yep, big key, no hammer, no small key. So, depending upon what's in that big chest, could have to come back later. We might see them still go into it though, because again, like you were saying, there's really not a lot besides that. Even though they have a fair bit of items, so a lot of them don't unlock a lot of things.
Yeah, I mean, we can route south. We can save and quit with the dwarves and purple chest. We can do all that with Mitts. We can go to Hype Cave and Stumpy, and we can even swim over to Palace of Darkness. We can check out what's over at Catfish and the Pyramid. But you're not going to make a lot of progress in Palace of Darkness without the bow or some keys. And I think they've only found one at this point, so I don't think it's a great play. And we do see Jet actually going straight into Thieves right now.
Finding a small key for Turtle Rock. And Christos is getting the digging game prize here. Ooh, just 20 rupees.
Alright, and I think Christos is actually going to go back up. Maybe we'll see the Dwarf here, or maybe he'll jump into Thieves.
He's trying to get the poor blacksmith, but does not want anything to do, apparently, with Blink today.
I think these are both really solid routes from both of these guys. Christos electing to maybe go for a kind of like safer strategy, I would say, in that he's clearing more of the overworld, which can lead to more progression in dungeons later on. Jet, you know, is making progress towards actually, you know, completing a dungeon here and getting a bunch of items, but he is leaving something behind which could come back to bite him. So really interesting play by both of these guys.
And the other thing about Christos' route is he's able to go check the bomb shop and get information on 2 more crystals, which he could find out that Thieves Town or something, you know, is potentially of value. But no, looks like we got Dark Palace, and I believe it was Desert Palace. That was our red crystals.
That's right, and we're about to see some Hype Cave! I'm getting excited.
Hopefully it's actually hype today. I'm hoping for something. I'm hoping for a hammer in here. Ooh, but a map.
Off with a map of Pod.
Unfortunately, not the map. Oh, another map. Eastern Palace.
Okay, we got something other than a map in here.
Ooh, well, 2 maps. Eastern Palace. We'll get to find out exactly what that is. So
that is helpful. I do like the fact that maps give you that intel. Lots of rupees here in Thieves. What is happening? Jet's got like 600.
It'll be convenient for Jet if Jet finds the mirror, because then when he goes to Catfish, he can also check Zora at the same time and route that in instead of having to go out of the way for it.
Very good point. And as we see here, Christos does have to swim around here, taking this frog on a little world tour while doing so, but I think he's going to be hitting up the pyramid, and then he's going to be walking over to Catfish, and then probably saving and quitting, and then delivering the frog.
Actually, yeah. Hopefully, what would be nice for Christos right now is if the pyramid had, let's say, 300 rupees and Catfish had the mirror. Ooh, big key for Pod in Blind Cell.
Yeah, we're starting to find some of those pod keys, and with the big key found here, Palace of Darkness is quickly becoming a solid play.
Ooh, another map, though, on the pyramid. Skullwoods, well, they both already have that crystal, so
not too helpful.
Nope.
Alright, let's check out this blind fight from Jet. First phase went flawlessly. Second phase looking good.
Ooh, almost got perfect third phase. There we go. Still a very nice kill for blind.
Agreed. And some full heart action there as his prize along with the blue pendant.
Oh no. See, that was my biggest worry on going into Thieves Town. Especially without the hammer or whatever. Potentially it being a pendant.
Well, based on Jet's and Christos's last 2 races, Jet has cleared all the dungeons, I believe, in both of those races. So he's not afraid to jump independent dungeons or dungeons that he doesn't even know what the prize will be at the end of it. So that may happen again. Or maybe that pedestal will come into play.
Well, we do know that, of course, that was at least going into Thieves Town is required because the pod big key is in Blind Cell, and that is a crystal dungeon. So
it's extremely important. Christos almost making a big mistake here and going to the Dark World, but he needs to deliver that dwarf before he heads there, because mirror. We still need to find that mirror.
Yep, and mirror could be here, or it could be on the purple chest.
Absolutely. So Jet is retracing Christos' footsteps.
Blacksmith's just giving out a little bit of love today.
Alright, Christos is going back into Village of Outcasts. We'll see if he decides to make the thieves play, or if he decides, you know what, let's deliver that purple chest. We've already delivered the dwarf, we've put in all the work. Let's see it through to the end. Maybe he'll do both.
I feel like he's gonna be going to Thieves Town just based on concentration of items.
It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
It really does. And I think that's going to lead him to Pod, which I think he might regret a little bit since he kind of went by there, but because it's a long trip over to Pod. The only way we can get to Palace of Darkness right now is through the Kakariko portal.
Yep, without the hammer, it seems to be our only option, so Jet's gonna be delivering the blacksmith too, so we're not gonna see, unfortunately we're not gonna see Pod from Jet either.
Yeah, unless he is done here at Hype Cave and decides not to continue. But, you know, routing all this overworld stuff gets it out of the way early, and they don't have to worry about it later on, which is nice. And picking up 2 pod keys here in Hype Cave might have tipped the scales there to make Jet decide, you know what, I think Palace of Darkness is where it's at. So he's saving and quitting right now, and I think he's going to go ahead and deliver that dwarf. Question is, will he go through with the purple chest, or will he run straight over to Pod, or clean up, you know, pyramid, catfish, all that stuff?
Yeah, I guess that's the big question is, like, because Thieves Town is their only way, or Thieves Town, sorry, because Kakariko is their only way really into the Dark World, you know, making the right play could potentially get them the hammer, and then, you know, it could change how this run goes for either runner, whoever gets it first. So yeah, it's definitely scary to think about, you know, okay, well, I could do the purple chest, or I, you know, because it's only one item, I could just go straight to Pod, but then if, you know, purple chest ends up being a hammer or something significant, you know, that could really change things up.
Certainly. Jet does have a nice route here that he could go to North Dark World and kind of, you know, swim across and head to Catfish and then hit the pyramid and then go straight to Pod. That might be a really solid route for him if he's not doing the purple chest. And that might be what we see here. Oh, interesting. He's going for the bumper cave check.
Knowledge is power.
It really is.
It's just a heart piece. There's a lot of heart pieces in this seed so far. Not any armor or anything, but it's been fairly generous with heart pieces. Not very generous with rupees until fairly recently.
These guys may sync up in Palace of Darkness. Might be that crazy. Christos could also decide from here to go for that purple chest as well. And then we still have not seen Zora. Zora is still available, and they have the rupees to do it.
So Christos is going to be picking up his blue pendant here. Gets a very nice first phase. And a very nice second phase. Ooh, and there we go. Blind is down. Jet picking up his heart container from the catfish. And we'll be heading down towards Pod. That's Christos picks up his blue pendant.
Yeah, and Jet will be probably checking the pyramid, and then probably heading down to Pod. Now, it's another interesting play that I talked about earlier. We haven't really revisited is the Ice Palace play. Kind of sucks going in there without the hammer. I think these guys will probably put that off until they go to Pod, but that could be a crazy play to make. And gambles are what Rando is all about, making plays.
Yeah. So Christos is picking up the purple chest and is going to be delivering it. So, and just a reminder, again, these players both have had access to Zora for a little bit. So, you know, depending upon what's there, if they pick it up and it's something major, it could make them feel behind.
Well, this could be a make-or-break moment. Doesn't look like it.
Yeah, at least like it's a little bit of disappointing moment for Christos. So, ooh, Christos heading either to Zora or to Ice Palace.
I imagine Zora first.
It was something that was available fairly early on, so he might be worried that Jet picked it up and it could be something of importance.
Little does he know, Jet has not, and Jet is already about to enter Pod here. It's really interesting, you know, like, going to Pod here, because it takes so long to get here from Kakariko and Village of Outcasts, versus Ice, it's actually quick to get to, but the dungeon is, you know, a little harder to traverse through. You don't have the hammer.
Ooh. Just 20 rupees. So... And I think he actually even could have just... Yeah. I'm wondering where he's going now. Oh yeah, he can flute. Derp.
I think he's also going to Palace of Darkness now.
Yep. With 3 small keys, the big key, there is a bit of things that they can check.
Yep, and certainly with a bomb jump that both of these guys know how to do very well, they'll be able to check the Dark Maze and without, you know, wasting a key. It's actually really nice.
So, finding our 3rd Turtle Rock key, interesting. We do know that Turtle Rock is, in fact, a crystal.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see where that 4th Turtle Rock key actually is, because that can play a big role in races. We actually saw that, I believe, in Game 1 of this matchup, where the 4th Turtle Rock key was on the pedestal, and Christos was struggling to find it because he did open that vanilla big key chest. But if something good is there, that can also make or break a race as well.
Ooh, the hook shot, though. That definitely opens up a lot for Jet. Unlocking... unlocking all of East Death Mountain, as well as Dark East Death Mountain.
That's a huge deal. That's an amazing find. And we also found our first bottle in the Rupee Room. Jet spending a key on this harmless hellway, rewarded only with 20 rupees, but now he's going to go set up that bomb jump to get these remaining items. We will need the bow and another small key, at least Jet will, in order to complete this dungeon, so he's going to be on the lookout for those things. And
the hammer.
Oh yeah, I guess that's an important one.
Remember, he was looking for the hammer. Ooh, big key for Swamp Palace. Well, guess where the hammer can't be. Wow, big key central over here. Big key for Misermar, big key for Swamp Palace.
Those are really nice things to have. I'll tell you that.
Oh, and another compass.
For this dungeon.
Convenient.
And Jet is not even thinking twice. He's going East Death Mountain. That's where all the value is.
So Christos is going to be opening up a different door here. This is one that Jet left behind. So
very true.
Depending upon what's in here, could be something good. But it's not.
They're both 20 rupees, which is really funny. Alright, so Paradox Cave. Jet will be doing all of the Light World locations before the Dark World locations, because we don't have the mirror, so you want to route that as efficiently as possible.
Ooh.
Oh no.
A small key to Thieves' Town.
Well, we can't even get that yet. We still need the hammer, so I guess that's a positive thing. I don't think that's actually that good.
I'm expecting them to find hammer fairly quickly. There's that cane to Samaria, another key to Pod.
Certainly something that Jet does need, so I'm sure he's excited to see that, but doesn't want to go all the way back there right now.
You know, interestingly enough, there's still a few items that they can find up on East Death Mountain. If he happens to find, let's say, a medallion and a hammer, could be interesting to see whether or not he goes into Turtle Rock. Oh no, a big key! Big key on the floating island.
It's good information, but we can't get that without the mirror. Hook shot for ChristosOwen. And he does have his bottle now. He's going to be setting up that bomb jump.
It's nicer to set up from the bottom, so it's going to go back in here. Ooh, silver arrows, though, in Spiral Cave.
Nice find. Once we get the bow, they'll be able to just mow down enemies with that thing. Makes a lot of bosses easier, too.
Christos picking up his big keys.
And now we're seeing the Dark Death Mountain from Jet. Definitely have to route the Light World before you go to the Dark World, otherwise you can't, you know, traverse back and forth without that mirror, as I said earlier. So, Super Bunny Cave gonna have 2 items, Hookshot Cave gonna have 4. We'll be able to check what's the requirement to get into Turtle Rock, so that's important too. We need a medallion, we need the hammer.
We did see that the Quake Medallion was what was required for Misery Mire. We have the Ice Palace big key. Oh my goodness, another big key for Ganon's Tower!
That seems important. It's a nice relief to find. Sometimes we go around searching for that for a long time.
Alright, so Hookshot Cave here. A small key to Ganon's Tower. Who just leaves these keys lying around outside of Ganon's Tower? Ganon's minions are probably the worst.
Well, there's not enough space in their own dungeons. You don't want to clutter up your place with all these keys and maps and compasses. The lowly ball and chain guard had to keep 3 compasses. I mean, that's what you get for being on the bottom of the totem pole.
Alright, here's where we're guarding all the items for the dungeons. We'll give you 3 compasses.
Oh my goodness, Jet's going ice! Here we go, into the fridge.
So Christo's picking up the knowledge about that big key on the ledge there.
With the hookshot, it does make routing this dungeon a little bit nicer, but we don't have the hammer, so we can't actually complete this dungeon. We have to leave behind a few chests. Now, Jet did get that Ice Palace big key, so we can check the big chest. Man,
Yep.
This is a very bottlenecked seed right now, if this is where he feels he should go right now. Like, crazy.
Another compass!
Oh, I thought they were all gone.
I thought so too. I think we're still missing the compass for Ganon's tower. So, and with having the Cane of Samaria and having to basically almost full clear this dungeon, I don't see Jet making the bomb jump either.
No, it doesn't seem practical. I mean, if he does find the hammer in here, like, he has the big key to complete it anyways, I think it's not a big deal. It'll probably actually slow him down.
Yep. A nice movement from Christos in the Super Bunny cave here, pumping along the wall. Get some extra quick movement. Without the boots, there's limited things that you can do in order to try to speed things up. Hookshot's nice for movement.
It really is. And I did catch Bombos there for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, I don't know if Jet checked that or not. I don't recall seeing it, but I might have missed it.
Yeah, I don't think so. Here's that big chest, so going up to Dark Death Mountain, it gets you 50 rupees out of the big chest. And I think there's only 2 more chests that we can check here in Ice Palace. The rest are locked behind the hammer.
Nice movement in Ice Palace by Jet, using the hookshot to maneuver around these rooms. Again, without having the boots, sometimes traversing on ice is a bit fun. Ooh, another small key to pod.
Now, Jet knows that there is that vanilla big key chest that he has not checked, but, we know that it's only 20 rupees, so that's the only thing that he can get out of pod right now.
And Christo's back at, yeah. He's already checked this when he was Super Bunny. So, ooh, Jet finding Quake though, and that in fact does open Misery Mire up for Jet.
Yeah, you're a little early there, Christos. Jet's step ahead of you on that Misery Mire, and I think Christos is gonna go into ice. This is really pigeonholing them down a path here. What's also interesting about Misery Mire is we did find the big key for Misery Mire, and with the red cane and a fire source, we can actually full clear it.
Yep, and about 100 keys for Misery Mire too. I think there was about 3 small keys that we had found for Misery Mire, even though in order to complete the dungeon, you really don't need any.
Yeah, absolutely. But we literally have all the things we need. We have flute, We have mitts, we have red cane, we have a fire source, including lamp, which you need to get through the dark rooms. You have hook shot to get across this gap at the beginning. Like, everything wants you to go to Mire, and even gave you Quake and Ice.
So Jet following the breadcrumbs here over to Misery Mire. Jet still hasn't done a couple things that that Christos has done. Hasn't gone to Zora and hasn't done the purple chest. So, you know, even though he's in here now, depending upon where the seed ends up taking them in the future, could end up losing this time that he's ahead. If he decides to go back to check those things.
I agree. It's like way too early to say anybody's in the lead. I mean, right now, he's making good plays. You know, they're paying off, they're working out, but we have plenty of game to go. We did just find a Turtle Rock Big Key in Misery Mire. That's a big one.
Yeah, still no way to enter it. I don't think Jet has seen what the medallion is that's required for it either.
Yeah, we still need a hammer to even attempt to get in there.
Yeah, that too. Christos? It's making me a little nervous there for a second. I think he forgot about the one, like,
freeze
forgot about
room.
the...
Yeah. Nice bomb jump. And here he can check that big chest as well.
So, Jet did pick up the map for Thieves Town. Both of our runners have the pendant already from it, so that's not really helpful at the moment.
No, not really. But there's still a good number of items here in Mire. It's a really nice place to be. There's another bottle.
We actually haven't gone to Stick Kid yet, either.
I believe Christos checked it, but it was not worthwhile.
Oh, yes, that's right. It's funny how the progression item in Ice Palace is literally the last chest that you could have gotten in this dungeon.
And it's the Quake medallion, too. It's not like it's the hammer, a nice item that can help you finish the dungeon, or, you know, the bow that can help you gain progression in a lot of dungeons. It's a medallion.
Oh, but there's the hammer in the big chest!
That's a big deal.
There's that big item opening that we were looking for. Opens up a bunch of locations.
It opens up a lot. We've got, you know, hammer pegs, spike cave. We can get into TR, but I mean, we know Bombos is a requirement, but Jet might be thinking about Turtle Rock at this point because I don't think he knows.
Also, finish Ice Palace.
We can go back to Ice Palace. It might be forced Ice Palace double dip. Ugh. We can go up to Tower of Hera now, using hookshot and hammer to get there. It's a big item. I think the next big item we're looking for is the mirror. Mirror will open up a lot as well, like Swamp Palace.
So, Christos, even though he's picked up a few maps, unfortunately, they've been maps that he's already cleared or knows the knowledge of. So, the one thing I think we got the map for Eastern Palace. Nobody's checked the map in the Light World.
That's true. Well, I guess until we find the big key for that dungeon, it might not make a lot of sense to really consider it.
Yeah.
Christos going crazy here with those sword beams, taking out that Mire 2 room beautifully.
Yeah, it's definitely nice to come in here with full health to be able to do that.
We're coming up on a kind of a tough fight. This Vitreous fight is not going to be easy. We don't have the bow.
Nor do we have, let's say, Kate, so you can just stand in the puddle and take the damage and whatnot. Does have blue mail, so makes things a little bit easier. Definitely gonna want to be careful, though.
Yeah, we're seeing some bombs getting chucked at these eyeballs here.
Ooh. Only 3 eyeballs left. 1 eyeball left, and then the big guy.
Yep, we're gonna have to use sword slashes or spins here. Could use the hammer, but this is a lot safer and it does the same amount of damage.
A nice Jet holding him in the corner there. Very, very nice Vitreous kill.
That was a fantastic Vitreous kill. Another piece of heart.
Misery Mire, another crystal. So there's only one, there's still a pendant out there in the world. Can either be Ice Palace, Swamp Palace, or Eastern Palace. So they might want to check the map when they go back into Light World. If it's Eastern Palace, then they know that the other dungeons are what they need for crystals.
Right, that's very true. And we did see Jet check the map there. So maybe he'll check the Light World map, and he is!
Oh, and there it is. There's that last pendant at Eastern Palace.
Okay, so we do need to beat Swamp and Ice. So I think he's going to go back to Ice and clean that up. That makes a lot of sense here. That is a forced Ice Palace double dip right there. Meanwhile, we have Christos picking up that hammer, so I'm sure he's happy at 1 hour and 7 minutes in to be grabbing that big progression item. But, I mean, Jet didn't pick it up too long ago either, so he's hot on his heels.
And again, there's some locations in the overworld that Christos has checked where Jet might have to go back and check them dependent upon, you know, they're still looking for Bombos, they're still looking for the bow, they're still looking for Ice Rod, the mirror. So I think boots are out of the question at the moment for like progression because they found Ganitar big key, so it's not going to be on the torch, and Desert Palace just had a compass on the torch, so.
Well, we could have, you know, something at Bonk Rocks or King's Tomb.
That's true, yeah.
Like the Desert Palace big key, maybe.
Jet's having a little bit of trouble here with the... Oh, unfortunately not getting the pegs down either.
But that's really interesting. You know, we're not looking for a lot of keys right now. We're looking for, you know, major items. That's what's locking progression right now, more than anything. We need the Desert Palace big key, and then we need like a bunch of majors, and then we're in go mode.
Yep.
I don't feel like that happens too often. Most of the time, you're looking for those big keys or small keys that are preventing progress.
It could be really interesting depending upon what Cold Stare is holding on to.
Certainly.
Christos doing a nice setup here with the eyeball hits, taking them out a lot quicker. So he's gonna bait Vitreous into the bottom corner as well. Trying to hold him there, but Vitreous is trying to get away. Very nicely done by Christos. Christos going in here with a little bit more heart than Jet, so... Oh my goodness, but there's the mirror in Ice Palace.
Oh man, Jet is making some really good plays. I mean, they've been pigeonholed down a path, but coming back into Ice, getting that mirror opens up a lot, including Swamp Palace, which is pretty lucrative, and they have the small key and the big key to the dungeon. It's a crystal. That's a pretty solid play right now.
So now Christos really needs to head down towards Ice Palace, but there's so much. Once you grab that hammer, there's so much that you've unlocked. Christos fluting back up to Deathbound. I think made a little bit of an oops there. Meant to go to... Wow, interesting. Crystal's also going straight to Ice Palace to finish it off. And that, I think, is also because of the knowledge that, you know, he's already done most of it. He does have to full clear it because of the pendant being at Eastern Palace.
Yeah, this play makes a lot of sense. So he'll get his mirror, too. These guys are just kind of following each other. And what matters here is, like, when will Jet check the purple chest? You know, when will Jet head over to Zora? Maybe he'll do Zora right after this because he can mirror from Ice Palace and then head into the portal.
Yep. Oh, very nice triple hit on Cold Stare. And Jet having the extra fire rod shots from having half magic makes this a nice fight.
That's certainly helping a lot. Seems like Christos is just entering the dungeon as Jet is leaving. But I think Christos has made up some time. Like that Vitreous fight was excellent.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it looks like this, yeah, Jet could flute. Yeah, it looks like Jet's gonna be fluting out of here. Not gonna be going to Zora. Ooh, I think maybe a Swamp Palace play is in the mix here.
Yeah, and there's a couple other mirror locations in this area, so it makes it a nice area to be in. We can check south of Haunted Grove. We can check Bombos Tablet as well. And let's also not forget the big key on the floating island as well. That could be the Desert Palace big key, which could lock progression.
Yeah, interestingly enough, I guess it could be Desert Palace, Tower of Hera, Eastern Palace, or what's Skullwoods, maybe?
Yeah, I think you're right.
So that's the scary thought, that it's like you only need one big key. It's a 1 in 4 chance that it could be the key you need.
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Jet's doing here, and, you know, going to a crystal dungeon that has a bunch of items in it, we still need to find a bunch of major items. This could, you know, lead you to the next dungeon, kind of like this seed has been stringing you along.
And I also feel like Desert Palace, even if they do find the big key, they might not want to go there until they find the small key if they're still looking for items. Just because, of course, the dungeon won't make you do it unless you have both the big and the small key in the logic.
Right. We also have the hammer now, and with the Thieves' Town small key, that's kind of a loose item that's out in the world that is probably not going to be a priority for these players. So that could play a role later on in the game.
So Christos is going to be heading towards the boss now. Again, not having half magic, he's going to be probably setting up to get Cold Stare stuck in the top right corner to just get the quick kill on Cold Stare.
Yeah, if he does that, he'll gain, you know, a few more seconds on Jet, and that's what you gotta do over the course of the game. If you can execute, you know, just slightly better than your opponent in every challenge, then you'll easily catch up quickly.
Oh, very nicely done. See, that's the Cold Stare fight we're talking about right there. That's
Absolutely.
the Cold Stare fight that he needs.
That is like textbook, like perfect fight right there.
So now again, it's at this point, where do you go? You've got so much stuff that's opened up. Do you go do overworld stuff, more dungeons?
It's tough, but I think Christos is probably going to make the swamp play. Oh, he's not. Maybe we'll see Hera or that big key over on Floating Island.
You know, I think getting that big key, interesting idea, might also be using the mirror to get over to Tower of Hera or the Ether Medallion, or, you know, there's still a lot of stuff up here too.
That's very true.
But Tower of Hera is in fact a green pendant, so.
But we don't have the big key, so we can't actually finish it. We did find the small key, so we can check the basement. That's not usually not a very appealing play for most players.
Nope, but we do have the book, so we can check the Ether Medallion. Ooh, just 20 rupees.
And the Skullwoods big key for Jet in the vanilla big key location in Swamp Palace.
Not the big key that he was looking for.
Yeah, that's another fetch quest, unfortunately, for him.
So Christos is gonna check a couple chests in here. We might see him go into the basement, but he could also just check the first two chests here. Swamp Palace map. Oh, looks like he is in fact going for the basement.
5 rupees for Jet in the big chest. Swamp not really paying off so far.
Which could be really good for Christos if he ends up coming back and doing this dungeon and go mode.
Certainly.
So Jet needs to find something in these next few chests here.
Yeah, I mean, we still have that Skullwoods big key, so that's like kind of gonna be a looming thing for a while to see if that actually pays off with the West Wing. But let's see.
Compass?
There are more? I didn't think there were more compasses in this game.
I didn't think there was either, but looks like we were both wrong.
Make it stop, Sakura.
Oh, Bombos! Oh my god! That's the Turtle Rock entrance requirement right there. Oh my god. That's huge.
That's a really big deal. Christos can actually jump right into Turtle Rock right now. This is the kind of advantage that he needed to find to get ahead of Jet.
And this is interesting because now he can go into Turtle Rock and, you know, does he just go straight to the boss, check the middle chest? This is the interesting thing. He doesn't have the ice rod, so he might check that middle chest just because, you know, he might find the ice rod in here. But there's a large concentration of chests in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, but that's rough, checking that vanilla big key chest, because that's what actually made him lose in game 1. That's what hurt him. So, you know, like, if you're playing the meta here, which I don't know if these players really do that. They're very consistent, so they kind of make very similar plays. But if you're playing the meta, it's like, I don't know if you do that.
So Argus dropping the boots.
I think Swamp Palace was worth it.
I definitely agree. That is a nice thing to find. Increased movement speed, a couple more locations unlocked. Small key at Bomo's tablet for Ice Palace.
Eastern big key on the floating island.
Oh, that's not what we were looking for.
It's another fetch quest. In the vanilla, or the big chest in Eastern Palace is now available. We can't get to Armos, but we can get the big chest. But yeah, those boots are a huge advantage right now. Christos needs to get to Swamp after TR. I don't think boots really help all that much in Turtle Rock, so that's some good news for Christos. But, you know, every second that passes, Jet is pulling further and further ahead with that boots advantage. Especially
because, you know, he's got the mirror and everything too at this point, so booting over to drop off the purple chest isn't going to be as big of a deal as it was for Christos, where he had to physically, you know, save and quit, walk all the way down there.
Seeing Jet do a lot of cleanup here. I think he's going to do hammer pegs. Maybe we'll see the purple chest. He could elect to go into Thieves Town and check that big chest. He could go to Skull Woods and check the big chest. He can go up north and check out the Bonk Rocks, King's Tomb, and Graveyard Ledge. All that's available.
Yep. Magic Cape for Christos. Not really necessary at this point. We checked the Bumper Cave, and it's not anything of significance.
Yeah, I think it's a piece of heart or something.
Yep.
Nice safety item, though.
Absolutely. But the way these runners have been executing today, I don't think they need safeties.
No, and we actually have a lot of health, and we have, you know, red mail. We're feeling pretty. I mean, blue mail. Sorry, we're feeling pretty good right now. So we did see Jet take a bit of time there to do the purple chest, but he also got to check hammer pegs while doing so it wasn't so bad.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, neither paid off for him, but now he's going to check this Skullwoods big chest.
So it looks like Christos is in fact leaving that chest behind. Desert Palace small key for Jet in the Skullwoods big chest.
That's potentially important. If any progression is locked behind that small key on the right side of Desert Palace, then it's absolutely required. Because Desert Palace is a crystal, and you'll need the other key that's in the back of Desert to actually defeat Land Molus.
Yeah, if Ice Rod is there or something, that could be also another huge thing.
Agreed. Only bombs here at Bonk Rocks.
Heart container in the Mimic Cave. We're getting to see Graveyard Ledge and then probably King's Tomb. And then Jet will probably head over to Zora. He's right here. Oh goodness, a small key. Ganon's Tower. Whew. If that was like a small key for Turtle Rock or something, that could have been a big deal too.
Very true. Christos did elect to save his key and skip the vanilla big key chest. So it'll be interesting to see if he doesn't actually find the ice rod down here, if he'll like mirror back and then go check that, because that could certainly be a play.
Oh, but there's
Just kidding! Okay.
Wow, okay. What a place to find the ice rod. And looks like Jet is also heading up towards Turtle Rock. Now, Jet does not have Bombos Medallion.
He does not, so he needs to get to Hera. He needs to go to Hera. It looks like he's going for that big key on the floating island, because if it's the desert big key, then he can go to Desert Palace and do a full clear, which I think is what he's after. But we know it's the Eastern Palace big key. Will he go to Hera? That's the question.
I don't. Hera is probably one of the least appealing things.
It is, but you're already up here, right? And you can just mirror. Oh, wow!
Wow! Oh, that sucks.
It sucks, but it's good at the same time in that you at least know where it is.
The big key for Tower of Hera, okay. Big key, Desert Palace? Yes!
Wow, okay. Turtle Rock is delivering today. And Christos is gonna mirror back and check the vanilla big key chest, I guess?
Maybe? Interesting.
What a play from ChristosOwen, coming in to Turtle Rock after finding that Bombos medallion without Ice Rod, finds the big key for Desert Palace. Well, now we just need a bow. We're good to go.
Christos needs to be really careful with his health here. So Jet looks like he's going to be heading over towards Tower of Hera area. So he's going to need to go into the basement. Ooh, small key for Skullwoods. Not
Quality.
worth the mirror.
I don't know, worth. I like it.
So I'm interested to see whether or not Jet decides to go to the basement of Tower of Hera, or if he continues with, you know, once just grabbing these two chests. I think once you're already in Tower of Hera, you might as well, but...
Yeah, I think you're here, you just do it. You just do it while you're here. But he may think otherwise if he wants to try to save some time. Yeah, I think he should feel good about his plays, though, right now. They've been working out very well for him.
Yep. So yeah, looks like he is in fact going down to the basement, so this is good for him. Christos really needs to head over to Swamp Palace. Christos does not have powder, so gonna be going to Trinex with 2.5 hearts.
Yeah, that's rough. He does have a green potion, and he does have the tempered sword, so it shouldn't be too bad of a fight. He's just got to be really careful.
So he's doing more of the safe strats instead of running up to the top and potentially running into the back of Trinex.
Jet just picked up his Bombos medallion after seeing Bombos on Turtle Rock, so he's got to be feeling good about that. I think he's going to be heading straight over. Oh no, he's going Spike Cave.
And perfect Trinex fight. Gets a green pen or a green rupee for his troubles.
Not great, but everything else in Turtle Rock has been exceptional for Christos here, so fantastic for him.
The best thing about this, no more beeping.
Oh, I think Jet might not make it here. It's gonna be close.
Ooh, nicely done though. Just for an arrow upgrade though.
And now Christos can go back to Tower of Hera and finish it off if he wants. He can do Spike Cave as well, which we know is not worthwhile. And Jet is not going to Turtle Rock, so looks like he is going to Desert Palace.
Yeah, interestingly enough, he I believe feels like still a Turtle Rock key out there, still missing the Ice Rod. Probably not the greatest play, but it is in fact the best play.
Yeah, both of those things are right in Turtle Rock. So Jet will be forced to actually double dip or triple dip Desert. We've already been here, actually.
Yep.
Now, I mean, this is a pretty quick check. You get 2 items, and then you're done. So, I mean, if we do find the bow over here, I mean, that's still a big deal.
So I wonder, Christos still doesn't have the Desert Palace small key. So, but I still feel like this is a reasonable play to go into Desert Palace. Just go straight to the boss, not have to worry about anything on the side.
And we're going to see Checkerboard, I believe, here from Jet as well.
Both runners right in the same area.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, and the bow!
Wow! Okay. So, Christos might actually be in bow mode, I suppose. Once he picks up that bow. And we know he'll absolutely find the boots, too, along the way. That's huge.
That is very huge. Because go-moding Swamp Palace is significantly faster than having to full clear it. You know, he has the keys necessary to beat Pod, just go straight to the back. Desert Palace he's going to be completing right now. Jet's still going to be looking for that Ice Rod. He's going to be clearing dungeons, but at a little bit slower rate because he's going to have to check all the chests. But that's, again, only if Christos goes and checks the Checkerboard Cave right after this, which I imagine he would.
This makes a lot of sense from Jet, though. Like, you know, finish up Palace of Darkness and Eastern. You have the bow. It makes... Just get it all done.
Yep.
So I don't blame him for not being in Turtle Rock right now.
Especially considering, again, he's missing the Ice Rod and a Turtle Rock small key. So it's reasonable to expect that one of those will be out in the world somewhere.
A map for Hera. Not so good.
Very nice Landmo fight, though.
Yeah, knocking him out with the fire rod there. And as long as Christos jumps in that portal
He's gonna
and
be
checks
grabbing...
Checkerboard.
Yeah. Gonna be grabbing half magic. And looks like he's pulling out the mirror to get to the Checkerboard Cave.
Little trouble.
Kind of mirror bonked there a little bit. Alright, so here we go, guys.
Yeah, what a development here. ChristosOwen has found the bow at 134.05 and is in go mode. Holy smokes. But I don't think this race is over, Sakura.
Heck no. Nope. Keysanity race is never over until it's over. Jet just needs a couple more hits. Here we go. On Helmasaur. Is able to nicely finish off Helmasaur here.
Jet finds the map of Desert Palace. Not quite the dungeon item he needs.
Nope.
We know that's tucked away on the laser bridge in Turtle Rock, so that's exactly where Jet needs to go right now. He'll probably head into Eastern Palace. Oh, it looks like he's gonna get that vanilla big key chest real quick.
Yep. I don't see him missing Eastern. He's right here. He can just mirror over to it. He's still missing, you know, Ice Rod.
That's really gonna cost him, because he has to go up to Turtle Rock and finish it and basically do a full clear. And then he has to leave the mountain and go back to Desert Palace again for the third time.
I think Christos is in a little bit of a habit here of opening that chest in order to get the small key. Whoops.
Well, it's kind of like right there on the way. You know, you find like a mail upgrade or something, sword upgrade, might as well pick it up.
The boots.
Yeah, absolutely.
Boots are always nice.
But as we said earlier, as you said earlier, he's going to get to skip the west wing of Swamp, which saves a significant amount of time.
So Jet's going to make quick work of Eastern here. He's already cleared most of it. So he's just going to be grabbing the big chest and the item on Armos. And, you know, he, of course, doesn't know where the Ice Rod is or anything else. So this, you know, this is a good play in what he has knowledge of.
And he got the Riot Shield doing it.
Yeah. Could be
nice
a hint towards Turtle Rock.
Yeah. I don't even know if Jet has that many options other than immediately going to Turtle Rock. Like, I don't even know what he can do. Not much.
No, he's done a fair bit of the overworld stuff. His routing has actually been really good on this seed.
I agree.
The way that he's cleared the overworld and stuff is been fantastic. The only thing is, of course, the Ice Rod being in Turtle Rock and the small key for Turtle Rock being in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, he's been putting it off for that reason. Maybe he wants to go pull a pedestal for us or something. He's been clearing all the dungeons in all these races. Maybe he wants to do it again.
It looks like he's heading up towards Turtle Rock now, so this is good for him. This is really good. This is what he needs to do.
Absolutely. Great Argus fight from ChristosOwen. He's got the boots now. I'm sure he's excited about that. Probably a little bit concerned that Jet may have collected this a lot earlier than him, which is true. It's probably been a good, 20 plus minutes.
Absolutely. So at this point, Christos needs to head to Pod to finish that. He's got the big key, he's got the small key, so he just needs to head straight to the boss. And Jet's got to go through Turtle Rock. He's going to get his go mode item right here. Anything he needs is in Turtle Rock. And even if he opens up the middle door, it's not a big deal because, of course, the other key is on Laser Bridge.
Right, yeah. He's in fine shape, but I think he's behind now because he has to do Turtle Rock, leave, go to Desert, and then come back to Gandalf's Tower. Christos just needs to finish Pod, which is going to be pretty quick, and then he's just going to be climbing up the mountain and heading up Ganon's Tower immediately. These guys have the Ganon's Tower big key. Keysanity, it's the best Ganon's Tower you can really have. You just ignore all the items, you go straight up the tower.
Having Kena Samaria, very nice, quick block throw down there. More than enough silver arrows. And we've seen tonight from Christos, his execution has been top notch, so I can't imagine Helmslor being any different.
Yeah, we even have silver arrows, so I mean, like, you can just knock out Helmslor with one silver arrow if you menu it quick.
Oop. Having a little bit of trouble in the turtle room here.
Jet did find that cape. And he is off towards the more lucrative part of the dungeon.
Yep, as Christos heads into the Helmslor fight. Needs 17 hits on the mask here with the hammer. Helmslor is actually being really nice with his movements. And Helmslor down. It was that fast.
Really nicely done. We're gonna be going up to Ganon's Tower now. That's 7 crystals.
Yep. And with the Ganon's Tower big key already in hand, just gonna go straight up the middle. He's got more than enough small keys. I think we've got a few already.
He has actually only one, which is interesting. But that's enough. You just need one when you're climbing up the tower. Jet has found 3. So you can see, you know, Jet has been, you know, clearing a lot more of the game here than Christos. Christos' big play into Turtle Rock has really saved him in a way.
So Jet opting to leave the middle chest behind. He's gonna end up finding the ice rod and the small key anyways. So
yeah, he won't have to bother coming back. And, you know, this is the same play that Christos made. He left that behind. You want to make sure you have the keys to complete the dungeon while you're here. You don't want to leave Trinex unchecked. You'd rather come back and just check that vanilla big key chest later.
Yep. Yeah, the big thing for the reason why I think Jet didn't come into this dungeon again earlier was just because with both the small key and the ice rod missing, it just, if he found one of those items anywhere else, I feel like he would have come here earlier.
Yeah. And he was still looking for a few things. He was looking for Desert Palace big key. He was for a while looking for, you know, bombos and stuff, and then he found it, and he probably wasn't necessarily, like, when you find an item, you don't necessarily immediately think, oh, I'm here, I can go do this immediately. You kind of are thinking ahead more often than not. And so maybe he had some other plays in his mind, and he's thinking these could be good, and they could have been. It could have been amazing, but the item placement said no.
I'm actually curious as to what he's looking for at the moment. Oh, desert.
He's the
palace.
desert.
Yeah.
And there it is. So Jet is now in go mode. But Christos is already entering the gauntlet right now. Had a little hiccup there in the cannonball room, but he's doing well.
Alright, so Jet's gonna be cleaning up Trinix here.
Really nice first phase.
Yep.
Jet, Christos about to jump into this Land Molus 2 fight with Silvers. Beautifully done.
And one cycled.
And Jet had a really clean phase 2 on Trinix as well. These guys showing off why they're the best of the best.
Yep. This is, in fact, the semifinals. There is a reason why both these runners are here.
And definitely do stick around, guys, because we're going to be having the next semifinals game coming up right after this. This is Game 3 of Andy versus Pika Pals. So we have some really awesome Game 3 action from the semifinals for both of these pairings right here on Speed Gaming today.
Yeah, what a great night for Rando. Great way to finish up the weekend.
I mean, there's been a lot going on in Rando this weekend. I mean, we had the Link to the Past No Major Glitches tournament kickoff. We had the Festive Randomizer get released today.
Yep.
Obviously, these hype semi-final matches, too.
And plus the sign-ups opening up for the main tournament.
Absolutely. Oh, man. We're almost at that 512 cap. It's crazy. Sign up while you can, guys.
Very nice Moldorm 2 fight from Christos here. Jet's making quick work of Desert Palace as well.
Alright, let's check this Aga 2 fight from ChristosOwen.
Alright. Very nice, yeah, very nice Aga pattern there.
Yeah, got that triple in.
And
Nice.
very nicely done. Super quick, by both the runners here. Jet finishing off Landmo 1 in one cycle as well. So that was both of them very nice job.
Yeah, I think Christos can be jumping in this Ganon fight and probably finishing it up around the time that Jet is just getting to Ganon's tower. So you can see how big of a gap. I mean, it's not very big.
Yep.
But that all came down to that Turtle Rock play.
And getting the nice setup in the top right corner. Do 3 spins, and that's Ganon's second phase there. Chris has got to be a little careful.
Yeah, don't walk into Ganon. No hugs today.
Nope. Sorry, needs 2 more hits to move him to the next phase. So Christos is setting up for silver arrows here. Nice, might get a triple. Nice triple. And GG. Ganon is officially defeated.
Wow, great job from ChristosOwen. He is going to be moving on to the finals of the Keysanity Link to the Past tournament. GG. He finishes with an official time of 1 hour, 50 minutes, and 7 seconds. Well done.
Yeah, very, very, very nicely done. That was an awesome Ganon fight. So we're gonna get Christos in here for an interview soon.
We see Jet pausing there. He's, congratulating his opponent on the win. And they're doing a little banter back and forth, talking about how linear the seed was early on.
Yep. We'll probably get to hear them both in here discussing the seed between the two of them, but yeah, it was crazy.
And these guys do play Randomizer a bunch. I mean, they're seasoned veterans of the game, and they're amazing players and personalities in the community, so I'd highly recommend giving both of them a follow.
Yeah, absolutely. These runners both put on a fantastic job. If you haven't already, show them the love.
Yeah, go check out their channels. Go support these guys.
So just going to be cleaning up the gauntlet here. And just a reminder, nobody go anywhere because the Andy versus Pika Pal match will be starting immediately once this race is finished. So you're going to not want to miss that either.
And I believe we have the excellent commentators, Jex, Refi, and Vitasia, so that should be really hype coming up here. And probably just after our interviews are over.
Very nice one cycle on land mode 2 as well from Jet. And looks like we have our winner here in the waiting room, so let's pull him in. Hello, Christos, congratulations! Christos?
Hello.
Hello, GG.
Yo, thank you. I didn't hear anything. Sorry, I didn't realize I'd been moved in. I couldn't hear anything.
It's all good.
Yeah, thanks, guys.
What a crazy race!
Yeah, I thought it was going to be really close. I had no idea whether I was going to win or lose that right until the end. So I was kind of like in super focus mode for GT, and I feel like I executed like really well for the end, except for a fall on laser bridge, unfortunately. Man, the seed started, at least for me, really, really slowly. Like, I just did not find progression anywhere. I did so much overworld. Well, I did all the overworld that I could. And then had to walk back to pod the long route after doing frog and purple chest. So I was thinking, man, if Jet went straight to pod, which I know he has done in the past and likes to do, then I was definitely going to be behind early on. But unfortunately, the seed really didn't give me much opportunity to make any decisions. It was very linear until we found the mirror in ice.
Yeah, you actually were behind for quite a while. The thing that actually made the huge difference was going to Turtle Rock early. the Jet was finding pretty much went to Ice Palace prior, went to Swamp prior, so got the boots early too.
Oh, I bet that was nice. Although I guess you had to full clear if you went early.
He did. So that's actually kind of where you made up the time. When you went to Turtle Rock and got the Ice Rod and the Desert Palace key, and then immediately going to Desert Palace and finding the bow on Checkerboard Cave, it put you in go mode with, you know, Swamp Palace and
the rest of Pod.
And the rest of Pod to go, and that's pretty much it. Where Jet was finishing Pod, still looking for the Ice Rod, still looking for the Desert Palace big key, so instead decided to go into Eastern Palace, full clear that, and then continue along the way towards Turtle Rock. So kind of where things ended up changing hands.
Yeah, that Turtle Rock was so loaded. I'm sure you had to be feeling pretty good about that.
So the Turtle Rock dip I didn't think was that big of a deal, but the Hera dip that I made, which led me that, like, getting bombos in my basement, I've never gone from like being so depressed to being so happy, because I spent so much time going up the mountain investing it in Hera. I thought I had the big key and didn't realize until I was in the basement and switched to Mirror that I didn't have the big key, so I was like, well, like, we're gonna have to go down to Tire Room. And like, luckily it paid off. And then I was like, well, I have the big key for Turtle Rock, I've got 3 small keys. I would always, like, getting a single dip Turtle Rock in Keysanity is pretty rare, so I wasn't too worried about double dipping it, but I wasn't expecting to find Ice Rod and the other Turtle Rock small key in there, as well as the other missing big keys that I needed. But what really drove my decision to go back to the mountain was that big key sitting on the island. I knew I could route that in, and that could be really good intel. If it was the Desert Palace big key, then I could go finish that dungeon. And I still didn't have the small key for Desert then, so my plan was I was going to steal the key for the second part, and then see what was behind the locked door. But by the time I finished Turtle Rock, I just thought, chances are there's not going to be anything behind that, and just beat the dungeon. I was a little worried when I found Bow, because that was available for a long time. But luckily I hadn't done too much extra searching looking for Bow, so it wasn't too bad. But yeah, it was a really, really linear seed for like an hour and a half, and then things just opened up massively.
I do want to note that Jet has finished, so big GG's to Jet. With a finish time of 1 hour 57 seconds and 57 minutes and 34 seconds. Well done, Jet. I mean, you guys gave us an awesome race either way. Like, you guys were pretty much just crisscrossing and doing the same stuff in the early game, but like the Hera play was really strong. But Jet actually did that, but then he got the floating island big key and left.
Yeah.
He bounced out of there. Okay. Yeah. And so, like, I mean, you were still in Turtle Rock before him, but when he went up there, he pieced out, and that's, I think, what cost him more than anything. Yeah, okay.
That's a huge turning point then. Man, like, 3 keys in the big key, you have to go in Turtle Rock. I was expecting to find Bow in there. Like, that's what I was pretty sure I would find. Instead, I found the Turtle Rock care package, which I was happy enough with. But, yeah, I'm actually surprised. Jet usually hits Turtle Rock as soon as he's able to, if he has 3 keys. I guess he was just praying that he would find Ice Rod elsewhere. And maybe he was thinking I would go in and it would be a bust, and it'd be interesting to see what he says.
Hello.
Well, we have the man himself, Jet. GG, man. That was a really close race. You'd be surprised how close of a race that was. You guys were trading the lead back
good
and
game,
forth.
Jet, buddy. Good game.
And you came out to swinging with a big lead, so...
Like,
well done.
we were chatting, and like, so it's about a little bit more, about a 7-minute difference, and considering like Christos skip basically swamp, like go mode swamp, and it gives you the boots at the end.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, he's gonna have boots as well. Like, it's guaranteed boots. And like, oh man, like I could tell. Like, I'm like, if he made any other calls, I just had to hope Quake like mess them up. Like, that was my only hope.
Yeah,
it did, to be honest. It was the last possible location I had open to me. So I'd done everything else possible.
I mean, it was one of my last spots. I think I still had that stupid middle big key chest in pod, but like...
Oh,
and
okay,
I was really worried. I was really worried it was gonna be that again. I'm like, great, 2 races in a row where that's the thing.
So I checked that chest, but didn't have a key for the other one. And I was thinking the opposite. I was like, oh no, like... It's the other chest, the progression this time. I got like 20 rupees.
The funny thing was they were both 20 rupees.
Yep.
And you guys both checked, you know, the opposite chest.
Oh,
that
that's
was
amazing.
Hilarious. Yeah.
But yeah, Christos, you made the right calls at the end.
Well, I did not make them at the start or the middle. I was feeling pretty behind after so I found Quake and I was feeling behind, and then went back to... I went to Maya and finished that out. And then after that, I was like, well, we just found Mirror with like swamps open, and that's a crystal. And I was like, well, I'm going to go back up the mountain because there's that big key on the island. And I'm going to dip into Hera while I'm here. And like, I was feeling really, really depressed when I was waiting for the tire room because nothing had paid off so far. Ether was nothing. The first chest of these one of Hera were nothing. And then I found Bombos and was like, right, okay, I have to follow this breadcrumb now.
Okay. So I went immediately to Swamp because I'm like, there's 10 items here, so let's go, 10 items. And then I figured afterwards I can do all the overworld stuff that I missed. I'm like, I'll just get all of these items, and there's nothing. That was nothing. Like, and I could tell
had everything.
I'm checking a new location, and I'm like, here's Christos getting ahead further and further and further, because it felt linear. Like, you get Quake. And if it was like the last thing for me, last thing for you. So like at that point, I'm like, there's no room. Like maybe you can route things a little more efficiently in the beginning, but there's nothing. We're gonna be, you know, locked together with Quake and then go into Mire to get Hammer and then go back to Ice to get Mirror. Like all of that stuff was basically all you could do.
Yep, that's what I did. Just I didn't do it efficiently. I took the frog with me on my first trip east. And then did after Hype Cave, I swam to Pyramid and Catfish. Then obviously saved and quit, dropped off the frog, and then did the purple chest, and then did Zora, and then finally, when I was out of options, I was like, okay, I have to get a pod, or maybe Thieves Town Big Chest was open then. I don't remember where I found that key, but I
never checked Zora.
Okay, yeah.
What did he have?
20 rupees.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because the first time we were there. Like, you know, I didn't have enough rupees. I just got whatever was in the waterfall cave. And I'm like, well, Zora is pretty much dead to me. I'm just never going back.
And it was preying on my mind for a while.
You saved a lot of time also by doing purple chests later with all your other checking of, like, Village of Outcasts, the Hammer Pegs, and then routing the north side of Hyrule all kind of together, but like with the boots and everything also too. Whereas Christos had done all that before going into Ice Palace. So not having Quake, which then led to what? It was the hammer, and then that led to the mirror.
Yeah, yeah.
And with Pod holding the progression and kind of gating you guys and being so far away from the Dark World portal in Village of Outcasts, you know, Kakariko area, your routing was actually excellent, Jet, because, you know, you save and quit at Hype Cave, you came back to the Dark World, you delivered the dwarf, and then you were able to just do the north loop and take care of Catfish, Pyramid, and then go into Pod directly. So I think that routing ended up paying off big time. You even did Thieves before that, which got you the big key for Pod as well. So
I got that Pod.
Yeah, I saved a couple minutes on me there, easy.
I got the Pod big key, and I'm like, okay, Pod's looking pretty good. But at the time leaving Thieves, I think I only had one small key, and I'm like, that's not enough to get to the back. So that's why I decided to do the Frog World Tour, and then we got 2 small keys, like, on the way, like, by Hype Cave, and then I had 3. I'm like, well, now Pod is definitely the play. And so I sort of regretted taking the frog on a tour because I would have just rather just gone there like right away. But I'm like, you know what? If I could do catfish and pyramid, it's not going to be too bad.
And then the turning point.
Dip in the ice.
Sorry.
I was going to say the dip in the ice. That was the play that needed to be made.
The forced double dip.
Really, really nearly went in there as soon as we found mitts. Like, I'm talking super early. I was thinking, shall I do that or shall I just do the Dark World stuff? But I was like, well, if I lose this, then I'm out. So let's not play too risky. But I kind of wish I had, in a way. I also made a massive blunder in Ice too. I nearly... Well, actually, it wouldn't have been a blunder in the end. I nearly went to the one chest which had Quake, it turns out, first. But then I wouldn't have had a small key to get back to the other chests. So I wasted like a good 30 to 60 seconds, like just faffing around with my ice routing.
I've done that before. I locked myself in there before, and I'm like, I can't get out, and it's just one item. So I made sure to do the left, like the big chest and ice tea room and the ice golems, and then go up to that one chest. And by then I got nothing. I'm like, oh crap, it's in the one chest and pod. Of course it is. And then I pull Quake. I'm like, I'm just going. It's Quake. This has to be the play. And then I got, we got Hammer, and I'm like, yes, absolutely, double dip, ice required. Let's go.
And then it's so crazy, like the chest that's right after Quake, but Hammer locked, has the mirror.
Yeah,
which
I
is
didn't
the next
that.
progression. Yeah,
because we got no
I didn't even
ice
notice
at the time. Like,
wow,
we had no ice small keys. I'm like, is this within logic? Whatever, I'm just gonna get it while I'm here. And then it's like, mirror. I'm like, okay, I'm happy with that. Let's go to Swamp next. That was my mistake right there. The moment I'm like, let's go to Swamp next. Although Boots isn't bad.
I can't. That wasn't a mistake. Like, it was a good play. Like,
well, I full cleared it, and
it was a really solid play.
Like, I took a gamble. I went to a pendant on the way
but
to the big
that was
key
the play.
that I may not have needed. Well, yeah, but it could have easily gone the other way.
The big key was up there. I'm like, this could be Desert Big Key. So I was thinking about that, but the item density of Swamp is just so good. But I think that's probably where I pulled behind, because I did a full clear left-hand side. It's all time-consuming. And then, well, especially the overworld check after that. Like, maybe if I had gotten Boots and then immediately went up to Death Mountain and basically did it there. Like, if I had done Hera, used Bombos right away, and did a full clear, because it ended up the last chest was the Desert Big Key anyway.
Yeah, I think if you'd done that, we probably would have been neck and neck for sure.
But I don't know. I'm like, let me do all the stuff. So I don't know what your collection rate is. I got 164.
I'm on 151.
Wow, 13 extra chests.
Yeah,
that's the overworld right there.
Swamp and the overworld you did after.
Yep.
And like, right side of desert, I think after you picked up that Bombos was like the turning point. You had to go to Turtle Rock immediately to get all the value there, and you'd basically be in go mode.
Was I that close when I picked up Bombos?
I think you were ahead when you picked up Bombos.
Oh, and I thought about it, but I'm like, I don't have Ice Rod. What if it's at desert?
Yeah, well, like for me, I was like, I'm probably gonna have to double dip Turtle Rock no matter what. So I was like, let's just go in and find the bow. And it wasn't there. I was like, oh, it's the Turtle Rock care package. This will do. And the big key for desert.
Man, because desert's not too bad, even if you do the right-hand side, because bow's right after in checkerboard.
Yeah, I did desert for... Well, I didn't even do the right-hand side, because I didn't find the small key. I'm assuming that was in the overworld you did, or Swamp somewhere.
I don't remember where it was. I thought I was sitting on it for... Maybe Swamp. Maybe Swamp had it?
I think it was Swamp. Maybe.
Well, Swamp Big Key Chest had something. No, that was Skullwood's.
But Skullwood's big chest had the desert small key.
Okay, yeah.
But I didn't have. Where was the Skullwood's big key then?
I think that was on
West Wing Swamp Vanilla Big Key chest.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay. Oh wow! So you followed that back to Skull as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
I got betrayed. I should have followed Bombos. I just didn't want to risk it with the lack of Ice Rod. Like, not when I felt like we were that close. So I'm like, I don't know.
Sorry.
I made the wrong call.
But it was like, you can't blame yourself for that though, because I mean, it was the sensible call to make. I just was following, like, once I found Bombos, I was like, I'm just going to continue following what the seed's giving me, because that's how this one's playing out. and that's just how it went. Like all the overworld, like all of it, except for bow, was nothing. It was just rupees, and I found like 1 billion compasses
Yes.
in the first 10 minutes.
The compass room in the back of the escape.
Oh, that was great. That was so good. Like, I got my hopes up after the second one. I was like, is this the dream? Are we getting 3 compasses?
Yeah, what a room. Yeah, it was interesting because Keysanity, normally you're running around looking for keys, but really it was a few items that were really the trolley thing. Like, you had to basically, it was so linear because, you know, the seed was just giving you nothing to progress for items, even with keys and whatnot.
Yeah, I think that's right. You've hit the nail on the head there. That was the crux of it. Just limited item progression.
Yeah.
We had like 80% of the big keys as well, pretty early. I felt like we found like loads in succession. Really close to each other too. Like 2 in Turtle Rock right next to each other, and a couple in Kakariko together, and I think there was a bunch on East Death Mountain altogether.
There was 2 together in Super Bunny Cave. Yeah, it was pretty crazy. Plus, of course, you know, the one on the floating island, which of course turned out to be, what was it, Eastern Palace Big Key? Or
yeah, that one was Eastern.
It was worthless.
Oh, you did Eastern as well.
Yes, exactly. Like, because I got
you did so
bow
much
first, I ended up full clearing Pod, full clearing Eastern, and just being disappointed when I'm like, Turtle Rock was the play.
I guess having boots early was going to be a little helpful for you, because I didn't get them for a very, very long time. All I had left at that point was Swamp and my revisit of Pod.
I mean, early is relative.
True. Yeah, it was like...
I remember, like, it was
in.
107 or something when you picked up the hammer, Christos, and Jet had already picked it up, you know, a couple minutes before that. So, you know, we were in for a fairly long ride here. But you guys managed to, you know, still put on an awesome show despite that, and trade the leads off multiple times.
Being 7 minutes behind, given all the extra stuff you did, is pretty impressive, honestly.
Yeah, but that doesn't win races.
No, you're free of Keysanity. You should be celebrating.
I know. Hold on there. Hold on there. We've got a bronze match for Jet between either Andy or Pika Pals.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Jet.
No, Keysanity's my favorite mode. So I'm hoping we do another tournament, and I want to race you again. Rematch.
For sure. Our matches are always close. Like, and we trade who wins a lot too. Like, even in the weeklies and just random races, like, you've barked me quite a lot. I guess we haven't raced Keysanity that much.
You gotta win it. You have to beat it. Whoever wins the next match, which I think is starting very soon. Whoever wins that, you gotta beat them. It's your job now.
I'll do my best.
You gotta enjoy Keysanity at least until you're done the finals.
If Andy wins, then I feel like my chances are slim, because for whatever reason, I just cannot seem to beat Andy. In whatever variation I play, he always comes out beating me. But we'll see.
All right. And looks like, speaking of Andy's and Pika Pal's match, that's going to be starting fairly soon on this channel here. They're setting it up right now. So we're going to start to hand things over to the next commentators. So again, thank you guys so much for your race. It was absolutely fantastic to watch, fantastic to commentate. And you guys did, like I said, like I was saying during the match, you know, your execution was absolutely fantastic. You know, it was really great to be a part of. So thank you for allowing us to commentate it.
No, thank you guys for commentating. I'm definitely going to watch this one back. Thanks to just everyone involved and everyone watching. Hope you guys have been enjoying it all.
Yeah, thanks guys. Great race.
Yep, thank you guys for commentating, tracking, Speed Gaming for hosting it.
Good games, Jet. That was a really good set of 3 games.
Yep. And we got to have Alu and Sakura commentate for Game 3.
Exactly.
But thank you guys again, and thank you, Alucard, for commentating with me today.
Oh, it was a blast, and I'm looking forward to watching this Game 3 semifinals match between Pika Pals and Andy coming up here. We've got Jex, Refi, and Vitasia rocking the commentary, so it should be a blast. So this is Alucard signing out. Thank you guys so much.
Yep, and thank you guys again so much. We're going to hand it off now, and make sure to stay tuned. The race will be happening right here on this channel here. So if you want any more Link to the Past Randomizer tournament stuff, make sure to give Speed Gaming channels a follow. And have a wonderful rest of your night.